Hey guys, welcome. We are doing a random Monday Night Live because we are having a milk paint sale on the 4 new colors that just came out.
It's a flash sale.
Sweet Pickins, we've decided to do a sale because I want to say thank you. Everybody helped name these colors, and some of them weren't available when we did the milk paint sale for Black Friday. So we thought 25% off from now until Christmas Eve 2022 at 10 p.m. Use the code NEWCOLOR, all lowercase, all one word, and you'll save 25% off the 4 new colors. Let me make sure that I can, so their name, so it's Capri, which is, if you guys saw that buffet that we did, we used Capri. Birdie, which is the same color as the coffee table that we did. If you haven't watched that video, that's up on our channel too. Gumdrop, we painted a really cute, gosh, what was that? Like a tool tote?
Yep.
And that actually just sold too, so we're shipping that out. But we have not used the 4th new color, which is Juniper, which happens to be Zeb's.
It's my favorite. I mean, just looking at it, I'm like, man, I really love this color. It's like a smoky blue, grayish color. It's going to be amazing.
We're going to be using it on some thrift flips. And then in the next few days, however long it takes us to get the project done, we'll have an edited video showing our loft office renovation, and we're using it on a piece for our renovation in our office. So excited about that. I'll get some warm water. I'll get paint mixed up. Zeb's going to mix up some resin real quick because I need a bird on my bird bath.
These gloves don't snap. Really kind of takes the fun out of putting these rubber gloves on.
I'm going to drop the link in comments.
They're all floppy around my wrist.
You can pick it up at JamiRayVintage.com, and I will drop the link to the sale here. And I'm also going to drop the link. And remember, you need to use the code NEWCOLOR, all one word, all lowercase, to get the 25% off. And then I'm also going to drop the link to the Saturday thrift haul. Some of these items have sold, but some of them are still available. So in case you're seeing us paint something and you're like, hey, I have to have that, don't worry, I got you. Hold on. Copy this. Caitlin is not on tonight because this is a non-scheduled live, so I'm dropping links and managing comments and painting.
Jimmy's doing all the things. I'm just going to make resin with the IOD molds.
Oh, you do lots of things. All right, so here's Juniper. This is the new color that's right here on the bag. It's like a smoky blue gray color. I'll rip open the bag here. When you're using milk paint, you want to mix up 1 part milk paint to 1 part warm water. And we will be adding Bond in a little bit for some of the things we're painting because they are slick and shiny. So I've got my milk paint in there. I need to grab a fork.
Oh, grab me one too so I can stir this up.
Oh, you want a plastic fork?
Yes, I don't want one of those forks. I thought I had, I got a stir stick in here. We're good.
You do?
I'm good.
Because this paint is food safe, so I just use regular forks and wash them.
Yeah, it's bio-certified, so you don't have to be worried about it. We use it on all kinds of things, from rolling pins to serving trays to cutting boards to stain them. It's a lot of fun.
I'll show you what it looks like mixed up here in a minute. You can also use an immersion blender or a whisk. I buy all of my silverware at the thrift store for 25 cents. So I don't care if it's not perfect. In fact, the other day, Jack was eating his cereal and I had to use the other side of the spoon to mix up paint. And he's like, Mom, there's paint on the end of the spoon. I was like, well, don't lick that part. All right, let me see if we have any questions here. Everybody's just saying thank you. Sweet. All right. So you want it to be the consistency of a melted milkshake. Not too, and you can always change the consistency. It doesn't always have to be thick or thin. Like, it can be whatever you like to paint with. You see that? I still have a few chunks in there, so I'm going to keep stirring. If you have an immersion blender, that is best. But when you're painting just small things, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I'm going to set this aside. Real quick rundown, because I know you guys have heard it 1,000 times from me. Equal sides, part A, part B, mix them together till they're not cloudy anymore. Pour them in about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your temp and humidity. Your resin will set up white.
I think this little dresser set already sold.
Do we have brushes out? We got brushes.
Yeah, they're over there.
You got the heat gun out. I don't know. Every time we heat gun milk paint on a live stream, it like crackles. and chips and
I don't know
flakes
why I
off.
got the heat gun out. It's just there.
We'll have to go in stages. I think I'm gonna paint this first. Does this need anything else, or are we just gonna paint
Bird.
it?
You're putting a
Oh,
bird
this
on
is
there.
where the bird's going.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you want to mix up milk paint, you can mix some with Bond because the metal is going to need Bond.
Okay.
I have water for you.
You have some water. All right.
You can buy all the way up to a gallon size in the milk paint. So that's kind of nice if you have a big project, especially when it's 25% off. Like, that's a really good deal. All right, let's get some paint going here. Can you pass me a paintbrush? Oh, you got a lot.
I got a selection.
I'm
for you.
taking
What do
this
you
one.
want?
I'm taking the FA40 Klingon brush. If you're just joining us and you want to buy these products, we sell them at JamiRayVintage.com.
Let me borrow
And
yours.
if you scroll back a little bit, I dropped the link to the paint and to the Thrift Haul collection. This is raw wood, so no bond needed. This is gonna go on really smooth and easy. Probably will only take one coat, actually.
So we have a couple of metal items, and I'm going to paint those with the extra bond, and also this. I'm going to see, that's probably going to take a couple coats because it's slick and shiny, but I'm going to do actually the recommended amount. So when you're doing extra bond, so you do,
2 parts paint mixed up to 1 part bond.
yeah, but I do 1 part this of the milk paint, 1 part water, and then 1 part same equal amount of the bond, and that's easy to remember.
Oh, okay, for that.
1 part of everything the same.
And like in my mind, it just 2 parts mixed up paint to 1 part bond because when I add the bond, the paint's already mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't mix it, like you want the paint mixed before.
So let's say you were going to do a half a cup of powder, right? You put in a half a cup of powder, half a cup of water, half a cup of bond.
But you don't put the bond in until you mix the paint and the powder.
Yes. I mean, I don't know what it would change.
Hello, Valerie from New Jersey. Welcome, welcome. Everybody getting ready for Christmas or lighting your candles for Hanukkah. I think the first night, was it yesterday? I can't remember. I had a friend post about that. We are going to be live for about an hour, and then we're going to play taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza with the kids,
Don't
and then do
forget all
Advent.
the words.
Jack has been very
Sometimes
adamant
normal.
about. Yeah, Jack's been very adamant about playing that card game. So I told him if he was good when we went live, then we'd play that before bed. All my kids are out of school.
He's up watching Monday Night Football, like the kid's living it up.
Yeah, he's in my bed watching football with Redrick. And Odelia and Cooper are playing Mario Kart, and Eliza's probably browsing her phone. This color is like a really pretty smoky blue-gray.
It's a little more blue than Skeleton Key and DIY paint.
And it's more gray than Moody Blue.
Yep.
So if you're trying to figure out what color it's like, there you go. Yeah,
Alright.
this is definitely going to cover in 1 coat because it's raw wood. And this is pretty pigmented. It's like a darker color. Did face painting at Sweet Clara's birthday, Joy Grambo said.
Nice.
Now I have a cold. I was planning on making Christmas ornaments for my neighbors. We'll see. We
Well,
are.
that's not nice.
My mom had COVID last year, and so we quarantined over Christmas. None of us were sick, but she was. And so I have all my neighbor gifts from last year. So all we have to do
Yeah,
is
we didn't hand them out. We just
all we
kept
have to
them.
do is pull out the chocolate, put fresh chocolate in there, and we're good to go. So we'll probably do neighbor gifts like tomorrow or the next day. We'll get them out. Valerie says, I'm supposed to be wrapping Christmas presents, but I would rather be watching you guys. Sorry.
Just put us on in the
Just,
corner.
yeah, multitask. I always like somebody to hang out with me while I wrap. Zeb helps me this year. We're already done, except for we do need to wrap Harrington's presents, but other than that, we are good.
So with this extra bond, milk paint sticks pretty well to just about everything. It has really good adhesion, but a lot of times you got to do a couple coats. This extra bond is going to help it stick on there really good. And the extra bond is not foolproof on chipping and crackling and peeling off, but it does really reduce that happening if it's going to do it.
My sister Deborah is on here. Hello, Deborah.
Hey, Deborah.
I'm almost done with this. This is actually a really satisfying project for me because it's so quick.
That one?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets
and you
done.
pulled the, just when you're painting the front, careful so that those drawers slide good.
Yeah, well, they kind of poke out a little bit, so we'll see.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, the
We're
handles
going to
came off
number the
really easy.
drawers on this one. I have the letterpress stamp from IOD, so that's going to come in a little bit, but I'll help you paint the massive stuff And then while it's drying, we can show them, there were a few projects we started on the Saturday thrift haul that we didn't wax and finish. So we can show you those finished projects.
They've been waxed now.
Yeah, they've been waxed and they are headed to the shop. I updated the photo on the website. Because anytime something doesn't sell on the Saturday night thrift haul, when I paint it, I just update the picture so that way people know what they're getting. Some people don't even care what it looks like, they just want it. And some people want to wait and see, do I like the way it's going to turn out?
Okay, that's pretty good. I'll paint the bottom when we're all done. I'm going to set this aside. You can see
Joy,
that
Grandma
covered pretty
forgot
well.
the Packers were on. You must really not be feeling good. We know you love your Packers.
Aren't they playing the Rams tonight?
Yeah, Grandma is a regular cheesehead.
Oh.
She loves the Packers. Did you know that?
I did not.
Her picture for the longest time, I think, was that, and then now it's her cute little granddaughters. I have a horrible memory, but I remember stuff like that. That Grandma likes the Packers. It's the weird things. I think that's what happens when you have ADHD. Your brain occasionally will associate something with something else, and then you never forget it. Valerie says, looks good. So what we're going to do with that picture when it dries is I'm going to do a white dry brush and bring out all the detail. Whoever painted it before, it's kind of messy. I did not enjoy the messy paint job. All right, smooth this out. And be like, I painted a dresser in 5 minutes. It was only 12 inches tall, but...
It's like a doll dresser.
I know, it's good. It's an organizing dresser. Okay, so what else? Do you think we need bond for that gold one?
Not necessarily. I just think it's a little shiny, maybe. I mixed quite a bit up, so I'm gonna also do this that.
I have plenty.
You have plenty as well.
So add me some bond, please.
What?
I need some bond.
Oh, you need the bond.
Give me the bond, James Bond.
Everything, all this.
No, not this. I want bond for my paint.
Just use mine that I already mixed up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have plenty.
That's true, because you only want to do bond in the first coat, so we can second coat with that paint. You're so wise. Is that why it's because you're the husband?
I'm gonna say nothing right now.
It's been a saucy day. What did we do today? We cleaned out we bought feed at the feed store.
The
went to
real reason
TDI's.
was we had to go drop off Jack's Christmas competition picture that he drew
At the Cow Ranch.
at
He
the
did
Cow
a great
Ranch,
job.
which is the feed store.
They're picking the winner tomorrow, so I had to get that turned in. And then we went to 2 different DIs. I think we got enough stuff for the next 2 weeks thrift hauls. So thrift hauls are gonna be Thursday night at 8:30 instead of Saturday because of the holidays. So we wanted to shop ahead so that way we'd have more time to spend with our kiddos.
Yes, we will not be live Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve.
We will not. And then we did that. We cleaned. What else did we do? Oh, I went to the shop 8 times because I kept forgetting things.
I'm gonna have to get the bottom of this later. I'm gonna move it with the brush.
I got caught up on my Botox. You're supposed to go every 3 months. I'm lucky if I go twice a year. Got that done. So if I've been looking a little tired, don't worry. In a week, I'm gonna look 10 years younger.
I got some good, after being sick for a month, I've got some good crinkle lines around my eyes. I don't even know what's going on. Maybe that's just 41. That's what 41's gonna look like.
I fed the kids. Played some games. We have a few games out since they're home for the break. We have Milk Buttercup. She's cold. She's not giving us much milk. So yeah.
Well, it was 10 degrees last night. And then she was being a little turd.
I need to paint. You're calling Buttercup a turd?
Yeah, she didn't want to get out of the barn. She's like, hey, it's warm in here. She was not moving. I'm like, listen, I love you, but you can't stay the night in the barn. You have a shed that is equally warm if you will go in that. Occasionally I have found her in there. So I think she's figuring out that the shed is better than standing out in the wind.
Well, yeah, it's better to do that. And the barn is full of my treasures, so she can't be stinking it up. I share the barn with her because she just gets milked in there. But people said we couldn't call it a barn, we had to call it a garage. But now that we milk the cow in there and we store the hay in there.
I mean, it's got a big garage door on it, but some barns have big doors.
Yeah, it is. It's a barn. My goal next year is to make
It's not a very big barn.
a 4-car barn. Kathleen says your look was priceless when I said that you were right.
No, you said it must be because I'm the husband.
Yeah. You know how we roll. People that are new are going to be like mortified.
I'm going to be like, what are they even
They're like,
talking
what
about?
is even going on here? I have this sideways because I'm trying to paint all the angles.
All right.
And
Good luck, because I'm about to paint the inside of this, and I'm going to get it all over my... Oh, there's like...
why are you painting the inside? I never paint the inside.
Because it's big and you can see it.
Paint the bottom. I want to
No,
paint
I'm
the
gonna
inside.
paint the inside. It'll be fast.
Okay. I'm
'Cause I don't know
finding
what
you
the-
two. How long have you both been doing this? Has it always been together? I love watching you. I think it's my 4th time. Well, it'll be 8 years that Zeb quit his job in April.
Yeah, coming up. About
And
4
I
months.
have been painting junk all since I was about 13 years old. But I ran the business for about 3 years before he came on full time. He did help me in the evenings and stuff, but it was pretty much just me at that time. And I would roll furniture end over end and paint while the kids were napping, and I sold only online. And then when Zeb quit his job, we started doing YouTube, and he built custom farm tables because YouTube paid us $0 for about 3 years, it feels like. I think that's actually about accurate. It's about 3
Well,
years.
so we started, we put our first video up in August, and then by March, the year after, we had made $100.
There you go. High rollers. And we painted a lot of custom furniture. We don't do custom work anymore because I prefer to just paint whatever it is that I want. But we used to do custom work, and we'd schedule it out. And then I'd flip stuff that I found on Facebook and do markets and things like that. And literally we made our living out of our house. Like we never left. I didn't have a booth for a few years.
Never had a booth before that.
Yeah, we only ever had one booth in our whole entire, before we got a shop. And it was not really a booth. She rented us a room because she didn't have booth rental, but she liked us, so Molly rented it to us. And then 2 years later, she left, and we took
Well,
over
you
the
also
shop.
came with the caveat, hey, I will promote the shop with my social
Yeah,
media.
I had a pretty big social media pull by that point, so that did help me get a space in her shop. And we became really good friends, and then 2 years later, she didn't want to do it anymore, and we took over the shop for how many?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
we did a 3-year lease.
We finished our 3-year lease in there.
And then we bought, it's been a year since we bought where our current location, but we didn't move in until August of this year because it took us months to get it renovated and ready to move into because we have an old church that's now our shop. So
There's
that
a
brings us to
quick
2022.
synopsis. All right, I will paint the bottom when this is dry.
all right.
I'm gonna set that over
Is
there.
there anything else left to paint, or have we painted it all?
I have this to paint.
Yeah, but I need to put the resin birdies on it.
Yeah,
right,
we do
right?
need to. Oh, I completely missed the handle on that.
Oh
Little
no.
vase.
All
It's
right, we're doing
almost
good. It's only
tragic.
7. We've only been live for like 19 minutes.
Hey,
So.
we got Christmas stuff to do this evening, so if we plow through the projects,
That one looks like it's set up more. I just need one bird. I only
Yeah.
have space for it.
this one is. Good thing we're painting them all the same color.
It's going right here.
All right, check that out. Bird is ready to go. Or bring it close, because these IOD molds are super detailed.
Oh, I can't. I gotta get my hot glue gun. Heat it up.
So it's not very big. You can see it on my hand here.
Halftime Packers 10, Rams 6.
Oh, thank you for the update.
If you guys are watching this on Facebook right now, would you hit that share button? It is a huge help to us. All right, I can't pull up comments now. What did I do? What did I do?
Swipe sideways.
All right, I think I got it.
Got him. Oh, this wasn't heated up. I don't know if we're gonna have enough juice. That battery's almost dead. I guess we'll go till it goes. I have more batteries I can go grab.
Well, I just need to put the
Where are we putting
wood
this
glue around
bird
the
at?
edge. We gotta mold it quick. Is it not gonna go?
Oh, it'll go.
I don't think
I
so.
will hold
think-
it here. No, it's still pliable.
I don't know. Are you sure?
I'm gonna go find some tape.
Yeah.
So when
Thanks
you
for
first
sharing.
when you first demold, if you haven't let it sit in the mold too long with your resin, it's pliable and you can move it. If it gets to the point where it's fully cured up and hardened, throw it in the microwave for 15 to 30 seconds and you should be able to get it pliable. But you only have like 1 or 2 times, and then the we'll call it molecules in the resin start to really harden up and get stiff.
I'm gonna tape it While we're waiting for the glue gun to heat up. Do you think it's hot yet?
No, it needs
It's
more
turned
time.
off.
Oh, here, let me hold this. I'm gonna go get you a battery.
Okay.
Right here across the thick part of the chest on the bird.
It's a chesty bird.
Yep, is where we've
So
got.
I don't want it to lose its shape, so I'm using tape while we wait to glue it.
Although that's not weighted right. I'll be right back. I'll go get a new battery.
Okay, and then also once we glue it on, once we get this hot glue going, then I'll tape it back. So what I like to do, because I don't have my Gorilla Glue construction adhesive, is I will put hot glue like in the middle, and then I do wood glue all the way around the edge. And the hot glue will just hold it in place while the wood glue dries, because the wood glue takes hours and the hot glue is much quicker, and then I can just go ahead and paint it. We'll see what we get to. I just thought that this bird bath needed a bird. It had like this ivy on it, which was okay, but just wasn't my favorite. All right, my chest of drawers is almost dry here. I'm gonna heat gun these drawers because it's raw wood, so it's not gonna chip off. And then we can go ahead and stamp them. Do you think they're all the same size, or should I put them back in? And
I don't know, but come heat gun over here.
What?
While we're waiting for stuff to dry and for the heat gun or the glue gun to warm up, so these are DIY paints. This is a mix of crinoline and salty kiss, which crinoline is like a yellowy cream and salty kiss is not quite a foresty green. It's more of like an ocean spray green. But this was just a little tin basket and couldn't hardly see the detail. Now that we painted it and distressed it back, you can see it's got these fun heart details. It was just really dark and kind of drab before. I don't know why anybody wants things like that dark. But that basket turned out great. And this has been waxed. This is what it's gonna look like. Wax is pretty cured up on there by now. We did that earlier today is when you did that?
Yes.
And then here are the two candlesticks that we did. Crinoline, it was a dark black candlestick underneath. Then we did crinoline and then salty kiss over the top. And this is what they look like waxed.
So I just dropped the link to the milk paint that's on sale, the 4 new colors that are 25% off with the code new color, all one word, lowercase. And then I also dropped the link to the thrift haul in case you see us painting something and you want to buy it. I dropped the link for that too. So anything that you would see in the thrift haul collection would be in its original form, obviously, because we haven't updated it yet, but I will by tomorrow. Lynn says, really like your color choices. Thank you. If you guys want to see us live again, tomorrow night we're going to be live. We don't know an exact time, but after 6 o'clock Mountain Time, once our shop closes, we're going to do our shop tour. So don't miss out on that. It'll be fun. We've got some new stuff to show you guys, and
We're almost there.
it's almost hot enough.
Yep.
All right, so I got these done. I'm gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna be doing some stenciling here in a little bit. Oh, your bucket is dripping, like all along the top.
Oh no.
We got some drips. The only thing with milk paint is it is a little bit thinner, so if you're used to using DIY paint, just put it on nice and thin so you don't get drips, or after a few minutes go back and catch anything that may have dripped.
That's more of a glob.
It's more of a glob. We are using Juniper, so it's one of the 4 new colors that Sweet Pickins just came out with, and only those 4 new colors, Juniper, Gumdrop, Capri, and Birdie, are included in the 25% off sale that's running now through Christmas Eve at 10 p.m. on our website.
How did that work with the heat gun? You shouldn't have got much chipping on that
I didn't get any because it's raw wood.
Yeah, I would. Do you want to do the base too? Or
No, because I'm gonna stamp these.
Okay.
I guess I can let you do that. I can go ahead and get started stamping. Do you
Yeah.
have a paper? Can you give me a paper plate, sweetie?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be using the letterpress stamp set. It comes with 3 different fonts. I hear screaming children.
Yeah, it is Christmas break, so you will hear the
Let me
kids.
copy it. I'm gonna paste the link to this stamp set for you guys. Here we go. All right, so I wanna paint the numbers on, but I'm using stamps. The way I do that is I'm going to pour some paint onto this paper plate, and I'm gonna use a brayer to roll my stamps. Steph's much better at this, but we'll see if I can do it.
All right, so hot glue around the edges here, and then that'll hold us on real quick while this wood glue actually does the heavy duty work long term. And I'm just gonna push that on. The hot glue will hold it while we paint it right now on the live stream.
All right, I have to double check because I am not positive these drawers are all the same size because this is definitely handmade. Oh, I'm gonna have to paint the top lid. They all poke out like that. I'm just gonna double check.
Looks like they all fit in there the same, pretty much.
Yep.
They're pretty uniform.
But it's good that I did this because I'm gonna have to come back and paint the top because you can kind of see the top lip of all of them. All right, let's do number 1. I'm gonna take my brayer, I'm gonna roll it in the paint here. Get it nice and even, not gloppy or thick. I've got my number 1 from the letterpress stamp set. I'm gonna roll paint on. You gotta work fairly quickly because the paint will dry.
Freestyle, which means no backer.
Yep, and I'm just gonna put the number 1 down. Now, once I decide where this is going, I'm gonna use this as a guide for where I place the other numbers so that way they're neat. So I'll grab the next drawer, place it underneath so I can eyeball it and know where to put the number 2. I do not like to do this live because I'm not a neat person.
You are doing such a great job at stamping.
It's so much stress right now. Oops, I got too much paint underneath.
Which one is the one with bonded? I guess it doesn't matter on this piece.
I don't recall. Probably the one that my brush is in.
Yeah.
Because I used Bond last. Okay, so I'm getting the number 2 on here. All right. It's mostly level. Deb's also better at eyeballing stuff.
Some days I'm like, whew, man, that was off.
Okay, 1, 2. It's okay, because this kind of lends itself to imperfection. I'll just stress it eventually too. But you just don't want it to be like super off. Somebody already bought this, so I gotta make sure.
No pressure.
No pressure, it's
Good
already
job.
sold. The worst part is when we've sold something, we accidentally break it, and then we have to be like, sorry.
Every
we have to
now and then it
refund you.
happens.
And we would paint hundreds of items, probably thousands a year. But that's cute. 3 is on there. And this has cute hardware already pulled off. Look at these little drawer pulls. All right, and 4. Almost there, you guys. Knock on wood, I haven't really screwed up yet. The
No,
tree's a
they
little-
look great.
It's bespoke.
It's a little cattywampus.
That's what, in England, when things aren't perfect, it's bespoke, which sounds better than a little crooked.
Didn't Shan tell us that?
No, I feel like I've heard it from For the Love of Kitchens on the Magnolia Network.
Oh, yeah, that does sound like...
Because they made pottery, and it wasn't perfect, and they said it was bespoke. Everything I do is bespoke. I bespoked it. All right, 4. I'm gonna put these back in here so you guys can see what they look like. The base is still kind of drying, but I will get this project all the way complete. I just need to let the numbers dry all the way in the base, and then I'll sand it and seal it with wax. Ta-da! Look how cute that. Super quick. I love drift lips. It's not a lifelong commitment. All right.
No,
move
usually
all-
it's a 10-minute commitment.
When you have ADHD like I do, that is legit sometimes all you have. Zeb is very patient with me. Move that out of the way. Are you done with that? Okay.
Who keeps a sticker?
How are you going to tape that bird down if you've already painted it?
He's already taped down and glued and done.
He is done.
Like, he's not conforming anymore.
Do you give free advice on painting old furniture? I bought a
That's all
old
we do.
desk shelf piece and I'm lost what to do with it. I need help from the pros. Well, Lynn, send me a picture on Facebook. I might not get to it tonight, but I'll give you my best effort. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a lot of different styles. Like, if you don't like what my house looks like, I'm not sure I can help you because I can only tell you what I would do in my own house or my own shop. But I'm happy to give you any information I can. Just send a picture to Jami Ray Vintage on Facebook and I will get back to you. And if you don't do Facebook or know how to send pictures there, you can also email them to info@jamirayvintage.com. It just takes a little bit longer because that goes to Caitlin, who handles our customer service, and then she comes to me, but we will get back to you. She responds to every email.
Yep.
She has a
ticket system.
Caitlin is on top of it. All right, I'm just seeing if I missed any questions. What color am I using? Bambi, I'm using Juniper by Sweet Pickens, and it's one of the 4 colors that is on sale with the 25% off sale that's going for the 4 new colors. I gotta reiterate, it's just the 4 new colors on sale from Sweet Pickens. Because Caitlin will get emails. And I will say, Caitlin, I told them.
The code is new color in lowercase on the website.
Which I feel like helps, you know, bring home that idea that it is the new color. All right. I don't want to heat gun this because I don't want it to chip off.
I'm going to heat gun the bottom of this and see how it goes.
Okay. Well, I can that's drying pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know what? We also need to I need to stencil that tote over there. So can you heat gun that actually and just see how that goes?
What tote? This one?
Yeah, because I'm going to have to second coat that. Or give it to me and I'll heat gun it. I got one. Can we do 2 at a time?
You also have a heat gun. Yeah, we can do 2 at a time. You know why?
Why?
Because I put these on separate breakers. They're on their own 20 amp breaker. Like we could probably run 2 guns off the same outlet.
You did a humdinger of a paint job on this.
It's ready for coat number 2. I knew it was going to take 2 on that one.
It's just like drippy and...
Well, that one is not my fault. I don't know what happened there.
You don't know what happened?
It wasn't
there?
even the brush.
It's all right.
I was just going to do the top, and I'm over here doing the whole thing, so hopefully this works out. The reason you don't want to heat gun your milk paint is because as it dries, that's how it gets crackly and chippy, and if you force it to dry really quick, it sucks all the moisture out of there, and it cracks and chips and does its thing a lot.
It's a whole situation. I'm actually not going to second coat the vase or the pitcher because I'm going to white dry brush that.
I think I have enough extra bond in here that this is going pretty well.
The other thing is you got to keep it moving if there's extra bond because that's almost like glue and then it will bubble. All right, well I'm going to let that cool down.
Hey, that's dry.
Under my book. Actually, I just really need to dry the back of this book. That's actually really cute. I think now that we paint it, it's going to sell because nobody bought it on Saturday, and I just think that the color was too mooky.
Well,
they couldn't get past the yuckiness.
Yeah, it was a bad, I don't know, it's like a bad glaze job. It's got a ton of texture that you can't even see because the finish on it already. So hopefully we can bring that out with some two-tone or something.
I'm just responding back to Chris. He wanted to know our address. We're at 1190 North, 500 West in Lehi, Utah. But you don't have to remember that. Just go to JamiRayVintage.com and our address is right there front and center.
Or if you Google Jami Ray Vintage, the shop is the first thing that pops up, and it's got the address and it'll take you right there. It doesn't matter where you're at, it'll give you directions.
And we're also on Apple Maps. Is the color blue or green green? I would say it's a gray blue.
It's like a gray blue.
It has a slight green undertone to it, but to me, it's more blue than gray. The problem with colors like this though, depending on the lighting in your house, somebody bought, so we also have the Cottage Colors, which is the Jami Ray Vintage line that DIY Paint does. And somebody bought Haint Blue and they're like, this is green, this is not blue. And the picture looked very green. And I said, you know what? I can't tell from your picture because lighting changes things a lot. So she sent it, I had her mail it back to us.
We just wanted to make sure it was
I just
like
wanted
not
to
a
make
mist
sure there
tint or
wasn't like a
something.
mist tint. I said, mail it back, we'll refund you, but mail it back because I don't want to send you out a new can if it really is the right color and you just don't like it, right? Because it's not blue enough. And sure enough, it got home, painted it. It was Haint Blue, which Haint Blue, if you guys are from the South, you already know this, is a blue-green. It's more blue than green, but it's a blue-green. And I checked it and it was absolutely correct. It was just the lighting in the house made it look more green, but at my house and at our shop, everything painted Haint Blue is definitely blue.
And tonight it's full dark. It's been dark for almost 3 hours now. So we're under all artificial lighting and that's gonna change things. The camera's gonna change things. The screen on your computer or your TV or your phone or whatever you're watching on is gonna change
water over
things.
there. Is that the one that has the bond in it?
This has water and this is the one with the bond.
Okay, because I need to paint this, so.
Okay. But it's working pretty well. I think I'm gonna get this bird dry right here, and then I'm going to, it's got a little gap. I think I'm gonna try to do something tricky with this hot glue.
Milk paint is pretty forgiving when you sand it. It gets really smooth. So keep that in mind. I'm actually not gonna sand these things, but if you're painting furniture, and you're not the best painter, it's okay. Just do nice thin coats, sand it smooth, do a little distressing, and it will powder off buttery, buttery smooth. Now, if you glop it on there, that's another story. But all right, this book actually is cute. We already sold a set like this unpainted, but I wanted to paint this one book because it was kind of a Christmas theme, and Christmas is about a week away, and I want to paint it so it will look good in the shop for a longer period of time. All right, I just want to make sure.
I gotta hold this while it dries.
Oh, that under lip is a hot mess.
And paint all the little spots I missed.
All right, that's done. Gonna let that dry. Whoop. Okay. Now I'm gonna second coat this. I do not need to have bond in it, so I'm gonna switch over to my paint that does not have bond, but it's gotten kind of thick down on the bottom. I'm just adding a little water. You only want to mix up the amount of milk paint that you're going to use, because in a couple of hours it's going to get gelatinous and you won't be able to use it. But if it stays in powder form, it pretty much will last indefinitely. Like, I've never had any powdered form of milk paint go bad. I've just got to get this painted because I want to stencil the front of it. I'll come back and touch up everything else later, but you're gonna have to sand that or something.
Sand what?
This, because there's like globulins from your dripping.
Oh, well, it's getting a distress.
Okay.
I didn't globulin that.
Can you guys see the globulin? Right there.
I didn't.
You probably can't see it on camera, so nobody will ever know, but we'll sand it smooth. I'll stencil it first because I'm gonna sand that anyways. Now my question is, should I do weathered wood for the stencil, or should we do white?
How's the heat gun on the sound tonight? We're not mic'd up, so I don't want to just be like running the heat gun if it's super loud. But we kind of got to run the heat gun too, or else we won't have anything to paint in a minute.
Colette wanted to know if our paints were food safe. So
These ones are.
The milk paint is food safe. The DIY paint is all natural, but it has not been tested.
So the milk paint is FDA biocertified, food safe.
I'm not saying that the DIY paint isn't food safe, we just don't know, and we're unlikely to find out, because biocertification, to say that it's food safe, is very, very expensive. And Sweet Pickins used to be old-fashioned milk paint, and they've been around for a really, really long time. So they're a much larger, more established company, so they've had more money for more years. So maybe someday Debbie will have it tested, but
I don't think they're going to find anything in it.
no, it's 9 ingredients. They are listed on the label, so.
Uh-oh, Jack got bored.
Jack.
He's your kid.
Are you okay? You're gonna sit here and watch us paint? Okay. That's fine, you can do that. I'll allow it. Okay, second coated this. The tray is pretty well ready for a second coat. They said the heat gun is fine, it's pretty quiet.
Okay.
Can you heat gun that picture very carefully, and then I can white dry brush it, because I don't need a second coat that. And
Yeah.
I know you're like, oh, everything's being painted the same color.
We batch paint.
We do this all the time. We have a big shop, and everything will be spread out throughout the shop, and sometimes we'll paint everything white, sometimes gray, sometimes yellow, sometimes pink, and then we mix it all up in the shop, and nobody ever knows, except for a few thousand people that watch us on Facebook and YouTube, that we painted it all the same color. We're gonna have to paint the underside of this, but I'll do it when we're not live. I want to put something on here, but I don't know what.
This
Do
bird
we want to
is
do
not
the
sticking.
stencil, the flowers on this too, and the bucket? Or do we want to put an IOD transfer on this? I think I want to do white flowers on this, and then I think we'll do white flowers on both. I'm talking out loud. Sorry, guys. Sometimes
Her stream of consciousness is coming out.
Sometimes the creative process requires out loud talking. You're seeing how I just make decisions.
Well, you know what your mom says, right?
What? If I want an expert opinion, I ask myself.
Yes, she's like, I talk to myself out loud because sometimes I need an expert opinion.
That is true. My mom does say that. All right. This is going over here so it can dry. And don't worry, we will paint underneath it eventually. And I'm gonna walk around and grab that.
Okay, it's pretty dry. It might need a quick heat gun on it.
Okay. It's gonna be so pretty.
It's gonna be so much better. Are you gonna hit it with some white?
Yeah, you know what though? It's gonna need a second coat because you didn't really.
Yeah, no, it needs it was super shiny. It needs a second coat.
It doesn't need a second coat everywhere, but
No, I would just hit it. Just do the
You
whole
want me to
thing.
hit it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second coat that bad boy. See how much better that is though on the second coat?
Well, it wasn't bad.
It was like shiny, super slick porcelain. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I had to re-glue one of the sides of the bird.
He's holding the bird.
I'm holding the bird on
He's just holding that intently while he contemplates life.
while I wait for the hot glue to dry and try to not burn myself. It's only happened twice.
I mean, do we really, after all this crafting, even have fingerprints? I don't know.
My computer thinks I don't because when I try to do my fingerprint ID, because it just logs you straight in and takes you to the last task you were doing, it won't do that. So I have to type in my password.
Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to try heat getting this real quick so I can white dry brush it. We'll see how that goes. Oh. You know, I was giving you all that. I think it's this little, like, twisty top.
Yeah, the twisty top makes it difficult and it makes it run. But go sideways, that's better.
I know.
Side to side. I went up and down.
I paint sometimes, pro tip, when things are shiny, I paint in one direction, and then when I paint the second coat, I paint it the other direction, and it covers the streaks that were going the one direction. It's like counterintuitive, but that's how it does. Deborah says that talking out loud helps her with her process. I'm glad I'm not alone. All right. My ear itches. I was really excited to see how many people were thrifting today. And I think a lot of them were thrifting for Christmas.
The thrift stores were packed today.
They were buying games
Like parking
and
lot
toys
was full.
I found a Pleasant company, which is before American Girl Doll got bought out by Mattel, when they were still just a small company. They were Pleasant company, and I found a doll for $1.50 today. I'm not selling it. I'm going to give it to somebody in my neighborhood. I put it on our neighborhood page to see if anybody has a little girl that likes those dolls. But I was really shocked. I was like, that's a really good price. And we were looking for stuff. We're giving our kids each $20 to spend, and they each get one sibling to shop for. And
You can get a lot of stuff at the thrift store for $20. Like you can get like 5 shirts.
Well, yeah. I mean, the doll was $1.50, so $20 goes a long way. And my kids are all avid thrifters, so they know how to thrift. Just making sure there's no like pockets of paint.
So while this is still fresh, I'm just hitting this with a damp cloth. If I let this sit and completely cure up, it probably wouldn't wipe off like this because it's got the extra bond in it. But it hasn't been sealed yet, and it hasn't really cured for more than a couple minutes. So if I press hard with the wet paper towel, I can get some off because I don't want it to be 100% coverage because, you know, we want a little bit of chipping or distress.
I'm thinking we either need to white dry brush or do white wax on that.
I think I'm going to try white wax. It's been a while since we white waxed. We've done a lot of dry brushing lately. So let's revisit the white wax and see what happens.
Well, I'm going to white dry brush. You white wax. And we'll let people decide what they like better. How about that?
Okay. And I'm not hitting a lot of this. I just want like a little. Oh, this is going to help smooth the paint out too, like smooth it out to the touch.
You think you got it, and then you find a wet spot. And you want it to be really dry before you dry brush it. I guess that it's all in the name, right? And there's like a weird paint spot inside of here. I'll wipe that out later because with this paint, if it's not sealed, like it's water soluble, so I can wipe this out. And I don't want to paint inside here because if somebody wants to put fresh flowers in here, since I left the original porcelain finish, they'll be able to do that, no problem.
All right, Cody and Rex, you guys can be out here as long as you don't bark.
You guys see my dogs come in here? Hey, Jack, we can hear that in here. Cody and Rex came from the family room.
I'm gonna grab some white wax real quick.
All right, I think I got this pretty well dry. Okay. Now I'm ready for, did I grab white? Yeah, I did. Hey, Jackie, I can hear you in here. Let me be quiet, okay? We have about 15 minutes, we gotta be done, so whatever we get done in 15 minutes. Because we have a
See if he
date.
can hold out. He's been struggling. It's been 20 degrees outside. The snow is kind of melted off, so we can't go out there and really build a good, proper snowman or do any sledding or snow angels or whatever 8-year-olds do in the snow. And they're home from school, but he's done all the things he was going to do today on his agenda, and he ran out of stuff. And so he's at the end of the day where he's trying real hard not to get in trouble.
He really wants to play Taco Go Cat Pizza. All right, so I'm gonna dry brush this and bring out all that raised detail that was on here before, but in just a little bit more of a subtle way. Before it was like a lot of really strange colors. And I'll show it to you up close. I gotta kind of pay attention to what I'm doing. So when you dry brush, I'm using DIY's Cottage Colors, the Jami Ray Vintage line that they have. I like to go in both directions, and don't worry about it. If you get too much, you can always come back and do more, like of the other base color. You can fix it, it's not a problem. It's just paint. You guys see that? I think it's getting a lot better. How's your white waxing coming?
I'm on one dip of the white wax and we're going strong. I just keep pulling it from down below so it's not so thick.
I'm not gonna get this sealed while we're live, but I'll probably let it sit overnight, and then I will do the final finishes in probably satin color with Sweet Pickins. That way it's got a little bit of a shine because this is a picture.
All right, this glue is fighting me. I'm gonna try one more time, and then I'm gonna have to break out like some super glue or something.
Well, so you should have let it dry more before you
I
painted
know,
it.
I should have, but I was excited. I had to go.
It's all right. We'll make
I'll
it work.
repaint it on that little spot.
Yeah, we'll let it dry and we'll just paint it.
I think what's happening is when I'm heat gunning it, it's making that hot glue soft, and the wood glue hasn't dried yet.
Oh, Cody fell off the couch. He's always sitting on the couch like he's a cat.
Sits on the edge. Hey, he landed on his feet though.
Well, like a cat.
He's super agile.
Okay.
All right. Okay, now I've got that same wet cloth, and I'm just gonna come hit the tops real light here. I don't want to pull too much of the wax off. I just want it to sit down in the details. I want that bird to pop out a little bit that we added.
All right. Behold. Dun 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 dun.
Get a little more wax up top.
Ta-da! What do you guys think? I need to white dry brush inside here, but I think the detail looks really great, and it's nice and subtle, and it's gonna look really good with some spring flowers. There we go. I need more. Now when I flip it over, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this part.
It happens.
Okay. This is done except for a coat of sealer that'll go on in the morning.
All right, there's our bird that we added on there.
Do we have a clean?
You can see
I
the
can go
detail
ahead
on
and
the bottom
wax
here.
That little dresser set. Or do I still need to do the drawer tops? Oh, that's right.
I got to add a little bit of paint where I had to hot glue this bird again.
Let me get this drawer top.
I might just white wax that and see what happens once that's dry.
Because these, for whatever reason, the way this was made, the drawer tops poke out just a little bit. It looks weird, so I'm going to paint that. I really want to stencil
That worked great.
that, so I'll see if I can heat gun that and we can get that stencil before we go.
Okay, so I think this one's ready to go. Which one did you really want to stencil?
That
Oh,
or
you
that
got
one?
some bad drips.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see that line.
No, we won't. I'll sand it.
Okay. I have faith.
You can only see it really good now because there's a
I'm
different
turning the
tool.
glue gun off. Gotta walk away from that.
All right. This is done except for the handles and a finish coating, some distress. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so it doesn't get ruined.
Okay, I got mine done with the bird.
Okay, let's move that out of the way.
Okay, and then what else are we doing? Are you gonna try
That
to
is
heat
really cute with a bird.
it? It worked out good.
I like it. Okay, what do you need? Okay, so we just need to, this has to dry, but that
This
also
needs
needs
to
to dry,
dry.
but we need to stencil it. And I've got the Wildflowers 2 stencil.
Let me
That's
just
the
see if I can get
stencil
this
right
top
here.
dry here.
Last time we used green paint, but it's okay, we can use white over top. But I want to kind of layer them.
Okay. Do you have a stencil brush out for me?
Yeah, I did grab them. They're on the other side of that bond right there. I'll try to heat gun this and then we can stencil this maybe, we'll see. This is just gonna get a wet distress and probably some white wax, but that probably won't happen on this live because I don't want to heat gun that.
Did you second coat this, or is this still the first coat?
No, I
that's this
second
one?
coated it. We also have
Oh,
the coat underneath, but
Yeah, we gotta paint the bottom still.
we can do that later. If there's any questions. Connie said that looks great, Jamie. Does DIY have a color like this? Yes, Skeleton Key is pretty close. It's not as blue. It's more gray, I feel like, and a
Yeah.
little bit lighter. But in DIY, Skeleton Key is close. I don't know about stenciling this one.
Is it gonna get chippy?
No, it's just, you have that big gump. Well, let's try it. It's okay. We'll
Do you wanna
stencil it.
sand
and
it? Sand it first and then stencil?
No, because I really want it to be dry, dry, dry. I'm going to dry the back so you can lay it back to stencil it. I'll let it sit overnight and then I'll distress it. If I don't like it, I'll repaint it.
All right. I think I'm gonna do these 4 because that one's poking up a little. Are we doing weathered wood on this stencil?
I was going to do cottage color, but
You just want white?
I was thinking, I don't know, whatever you think.
I think the white will be good. It'll really be a contrast on here.
Oh, Anne says, I'm loving that color. I ordered some tonight and more of the birdie. Merry Christmas to me. Yay, Anne. So
Merry
have you already-
Christmas, Anne.
It says more of the birdie. Have you used the birdie on something? Let me know. We use birdie on our coffee table and I love it so much. I love the coffee table. I love the color. I love the whole shebang. Okay, I'll make sure that's all clean. Just painting the bottom side of this. And like I said, we will paint the underside of that tray later.
All right, I'm not gonna look, see how that went. I'm gonna just move on.
No, I want them overlapped.
I'm gonna overlap.
okay.
I'm coming back in. I'm gonna add just
You
a
got a
little-
plan?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of weathered wood and then like go over the top of these like these are in the
I'm
background.
gonna trust the process. Now, the best part is when you add bond, it makes it kind of like glue, and you can peel it off your fingers. Does anybody like to peel glue? Or am I the only one?
You're the only one. I mean, maybe.
As a
Maybe
kid, I used to
there's
put
others.
glue on my fingers, let it dry, and then it's like peel it off.
Oh yeah, I did that. You could get like your fingerprint in it.
See? Anne says, I used it on a little bench in a box. It was so cute and sold within an hour. Anne, that's awesome.
Nice.
I love it when things sell fast. It always gives me that extra boost of confidence when something, like we sell a lot of like paint and products and things like that, but when somebody buys like our thrift flips, I get so excited. Like, oh, they love the junk that I love.
They like the same thing.
They like the same thing. It validates me as an artist. So when you stencil this one, just be careful. I just painted the bottom.
I'll bring this up soon for a close up so you guys can see what's
Yeah,
happening.
We'll let you in. We're not gonna make you sit in the dark. Let's see if I can smooth this out with some 400 grit. We'll see.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's still kind of wet.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna do this.
It's gonna get a distress.
It's gonna get, the globulin is gonna go bye-bye. I can't handle it. I can't look at it. You may not be. Does anybody ever do that when they're working on a project? Like, I know I should just wait, but I'd rather just do it right now and deal with So we might not be stenciling this one because I messed with it. It's fine.
That's okay. I have a second layer to do on this one, so we will go from there.
Chris is watching from Australia.
What time is it in Australia?
Jinx.
So we have a neighbor. It's one of the young men that I teach in the priest quorum, which is the 16 to 18-year-old young men at church. He's going on a mission, and he just got his mission call to Perth, Australia, and I'm super excited for him. That is literally the farthest away you can get from Lehi, Utah. Whether you're going east or west, it's about in the middle on far away. But he's excited. His parents are excited. It should be really good. He's going to have a lot of fun.
English speaking, so he gets to go foreign, but doesn't have to learn. I mean, I guess there's probably different words in Australia, right? But
yeah, he graduated last year, and he's excited to be going out into the mission field.
we're going to show you the stenciling. Did you tell him the trick with stenciling and offloading?
No, I didn't talk about it, but
This
I've
is-
been doing it over here. I've been practicing what I teach.
Instead of practice what I preach, practice what I teach. So we actually taught 23 8-year-olds how to stencil flour sack towels for their moms for Christmas. And I was a little nervous because we know the guidelines. I was like, if they don't listen, it's going to be a hot mess. And every single one of them nailed it because they listened. We said it has to be very dry. When you touch it, the paint should not barely come off on your hand. And they all did exactly what they said. And it also helps to have a really great stencil. This is a JRV stencil that we carry at JamiRayVintage.com, and some of our retailers may have this one. It's Wildflower too. And then using a great stencil brush, we have our JRV stencil brushes, but you want something that has a nice stiff brush that's flat so it doesn't go under the edge. And all those kids made really cute towels for their moms for Christmas. Nobody messed up, which was awesome. So if 8-year-olds can do it, you can do it.
Okay, that's where we're at. I don't love that these feel like they're floating, so I'm going to bring the stencil down a little more and mix in some of these others, but I'm going to do a little bit different color.
You got 3 minutes.
I can do it. It might
You
go
can
a
do it.
little long.
We might. All right. Well, we can let them stay up a little late.
It won't take us half an hour to pick names on who's getting what.
You have to play taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza.
I'm really good at that game.
All right. I got to third coat this area. And we're going to upload this on YouTube. It's going to be like 10 o'clock at night. It's all right. It's all right. Okay.
Oh, where's my... Do you have weathered wood out? Did I
Yes.
see some weathered wood?
I moved it so I wouldn't make a mess. I was cleaning as I go. All right. You might be able to stencil on this today. I have fixed the globulin. I have fixed my fix of fixing the globulin.
I'm going to mix paint right here on the drop cloth. I don't know if it's going to soak through or not, but this drop cloth has a ton of paint on there. So I don't think it's going to go through.
Let that air dry a little bit. Okay. Okay. Why do I gotta touch stuff? One more time. We'll let that.
So the lip of this is raised a little, so I'm fighting that a little bit.
Oh, cute.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going with that.
I'm gonna have him do the same thing, but we'll wait till this is all the way dry. We'll do it after the kids go to bed. We'll just leave the mess out and finish it up. So just imagine this, but on this bucket. I like this stenciling ninja.
I feel like ninja's a strong word, but I'm an adequate DIYer.
If you're just joining us, we decided to go live because we are doing a flash 25% off sale on the 4 new Sweet Pickins colors: Birdie, Gumdrop, Capri, and Juniper. Just those colors.
Juniper was featured tonight.
This is Juniper. And it's just the code new color, all one word, lowercase, at JamiRayVintage.com. I have dropped the link a few times, but we wanted to come on and tell you guys about that. And it ends Christmas Eve, 12/24 at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2022. I like the little birds on this. Like, it makes it next level.
Put a bird on it.
That's right. I didn't really love the turquoise color it was before. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 projects done except for sealer, and 2 projects mostly done. So I think that's pretty good in an hour's time. You nailed it. You're gonna do some more?
I need like a really small brush.
We can come and just show them real close. We can do that later.
All right. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up because we got stuff to do with the kids. But this, I might even do a third color, like a little darker, and really mix that in so that it just looks like a flower garden.
Yeah, I love the wildflower. So we have wildflower, and then we have wildflower 2, and this is wildflower 2. If you like these projects, you can visit JamiRayVintage.com. They are all for sale there. The paint products are there. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask them in the comments and we will get back. You can also DM us if you need to, or email info@JamiRayVintage.com. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it out, and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Bye, you guys. You got to end the button there when you're done.
I'm gonna show them this one real
That one's
fast.
so cute. We put a bird on it.
All right, catch you guys later.